Please have your seat, dignitaries and dear students. It is yet another new day in the life of everyone, and this day will be marked in your life, for we have taken the task to empower yourself. Arise, awake and stop until the goal is reached, says Swami Vivekananda. And we are here to motivate you to achieve your goals, especially in the field of sports. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the great God of the heavenly lights, who doesn't change like shifting shadows. May this day be filled with the blessings of the God Almighty. And now I request Ms. Sharon Rosemary, Cultural Secretary of Non-Resident Women Students Forum, to begin the day with the prayer, and it is followed by Tamil Thai Valthu. Now I request everyone to stand up to invoke the blessings of God.
Pray for the college. O thou, who in days past didst put into the hearts of good men to found this college, for the impairing of sound learning, the building of character, and the spread of spiritual truth and knowledge of thyself. Bless our college and schools. May love, unity, and brotherhood be learnt here. May industry, uprightness, and courage grow here. And from this place may there be sent forth continually a stream of men and women who shall serve thee faithfully in thy world. Amen.
கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் மதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறந்து என்று செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
I request everyone to have your seat. Thank you, Sharon. Coming together is a blessing. Keeping together is a progress. And working together is success. To welcome all the wonderful persons present here, I kindly request Dr. J. M. Vishwanath, Director of Physical Education, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, one and all present here. I take this opportunity to welcome our guest of honor for the day, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanandan, Associate Professor of YMCA College of Physical Education, my teacher, for taking her precious time and to deliver the keynote address. We welcome you, ma'am. I deem it a privilege to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. P. Wilson, who has been keen in developing sports and games of our college, and especially wanting the greater number of women students to be a part of sports and games in our college. We welcome you, sir. Our bursar, who is not here, I also welcome him in encouraging the students and sufficient funds to the development of sports in our college. I am glad to see so many women students present here, which shows that sports is not and confined only to the men. I welcome you all. I also welcome all my colleagues from various departments for this program. I hope you will have a fruitful session listening to this speech of renowned personality in the field of sports and games, Hin Hock Signo.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words of welcome. Now, it's time to honor the dignitaries. I request Dr. Suguma, member of Sports Committee, to honor Dr. P. Wilson, Principal and Secretary of Madras Christian College, with a shawl. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. R. Sheba, Dean of Women Students, to honor our guest speaker, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanathan, Associate Professor, YMCA College of Physical Education, with a shawl. Thank you, ma'am. Finally, I request our principal, Dr. P. Wilson, to honor our guest speaker, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanathan, with a memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you, dear dignitaries. Let the darkness in our mind and soul be washed with the light of brightness. I humbly request the dignitaries on the days and the members of the sports committee, Dr. Suguma, Dr. Niran Andrew, Dr. James, Dr. Shofana, Dr. Premina, Dr. Raki Yadav, to light the lamp of brightness and prosperity. Thank you, dear dignitaries. Our principal is the one who lifts the person's vision to high heights and transforms the visions into reality. With these words, let us now invite the Honorable Principal and Secretary of Madras Christian College, Dr. P. Wilson, to deliver the Presidential Address. Please, sir.
Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanandan, the Chief Guest for today. Dr. J.M. Vishwanath, the Physical Director. Dr. Sheba, the Dean of Women Students. Dr. Sugumar, the Sports Advisor. Dr. Niran and the Sports Committee members. And my dear students. This is a dream coming true. We have a structural organization, or we have a beautiful structure of organizing sports. How many of you know? I do not know. We have a sports admission committee which always sit together in a very transparent way, in a democratic way, administering the admissions. We have a sports committee which meets periodically. We have a next sports committee on 4th. We have a task force separately for sports. And every member of sports committee, they are very functional. And now we also have realized the need for appointing associate physical director for women and associate physical director for SFS. So beautiful structure. We have a sports advisor and coordinator. So many positions, so many responsibilities, and the work is delegated. Now you know that Madras Christian College values and esteems sports. So many officers, so many committees, decisions are democratically made and realized. So in one of the decisions that we have made is that we need to encourage the women students of Madras Christian College towards sports. You might ask me why. Our college has around 7,000 students totally, out of which 3,500 are women students. Our college has 7,000 students once again, out of which 50% of them are from SFS and 50 from DAY. Having realized this data as a truth, it is a high time that the college has to make efforts to appeal to this demography that we have. So this is a reason that we have expanded the office. And we have also delegated the responsibility so that it will not overlap with each other. We have Dr. J.M. Vishwanath as a physical director for the college. We have associate PDs, Dr. James and Dr. Shobana. Each one, they have their own responsibility to execute. They all come together and they make plans for the college. Coming to sports, as usual, MCC is a trend-setting institution always, as in the past. Now we are making once again efforts to revive the traditions that we had earlier. Any traditions which had a discontinuity, normally any cycle, social cycle will have a discontinuity because of some reasons or the other. Now we are trying to revive all those traditions, especially the Bennett Albert tournament that we revived, the faculty members. Even during pandemic, when we had time to come together physically, we redeemed that opportunity in bringing the faculty members from different colleges in conducting that particular program. So we are trying to revive the traditions as part of our efforts. In addition, now we are trying to concentrate on women students of Madras Christian College. And our sports committee members are also involved in collecting some data. I hope they have been doing it. They'll collect some information from the college and try to do make some informed decisions for the college. When we are strategic in appealing to this particular need, I'm sure that in the coming years, we'll be able to make a lot of success in all our endeavors. Non-resident Women Students Forum. And we all know from the history that MCC's culture was completely integrated into the hall life. I was just reading through the history. I found out by intention, our founding fathers contemplated or envisaged a complete residential program in Madras Christian College. And that is why the whole culture of Madras Christian College was embedded in hall life. But over the time, it could not be realized for want of finance in creating more halls for the students to be accommodated. And as a consequence, we had only 1,000 students could be accommodated, even though we built 3 halls after Thomas and Selure and Heber. We are not able to accommodate all the 6,000 students. Now, there was a necessity during the time of Dr. Mitra Augustine that we need to have one more forum for appealing to the need of the women students. I do not know whether non-resident men's students forum is available here in MCC. If you look carefully, only 1,000 students are in the hall. Remaining 6,000 students are there in the day stream. They are in the non-resident mode. Are we trying to cater to the need of the non-residents? Do we have a different culture of residents and non-residents? I've been discussing with many of our friends who are now working towards this particular aspect with the Upchia project yesterday. I was discussing with them. I asked this question. In Facebook, there was one former student who raised this question saying that, hey, do you know the need of non-residents in MCC? We are the majority. It was striking. It was like, it was provoking my thinking that are we not appealing to the need of non-residents? I do not know. I've asked our guys to make some kind of a research to find out what do they really require. Do they really affiliate themselves to the hall? We have a provision of attaching every student to the hall. Hope you understand this was the forefathers' dream, that every student should be reckoned as a resident of the halls. But it so happened over the period that though we had a provision for attaching every student with the hall, it was only namesake. Many of you would agree with me. Even now, I don't know whether the practice is there. I used to ask DSA. I asked, we are not affiliating sometimes we are affiliating. We are attaching students with the hall, but that does not contribute in essence what we expected, that every student should be completely attached to the hall and he should develop the personality trait of a hall of the student. It's not happening. So this is the reason probably I envisage probably the former principal brought this non-resident women students forum. Now this is a forum definitely should appeal to the need of the non-residents, which is completely different from the residents in cultural ways. I'm very happy that non-resident women students forum has joined hands with sports committee in organizing this event. Once again, whatever event that we conduct here, it should be purpose driven. It need not be simply arbitrarily we can't conduct programs. So remember that we encourage a lot of non-residents also to be part of the sports. I hope one thing that we lack is number of participants. Recently we had ALM meet and we found out that we should have definitely added more participants in order to increase the probability of winning. I do not know, we are making efforts, but the contribution from non-residents should increase is my appeal. I am very happy that rightly the sports committee has made decision to collaborate with non-resident students forum. And I'm sure the College of Necessity also would support these efforts, and please connect with different units of Madras Christian College and try to draw the students towards sports. And I dream by the time I retire, I dream that there would be some kind of a sports complex here with all the state-of-the-art facilities being made here. May the Lord enable all of us to achieve our dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational presidential address. Fill the brain with high thoughts, ideals, place them day and night before you, and out of that will come great work, says Swami Vivekananda. And now, I request Dr. R. Shiba, Dean of Women Students, to give a talk on Non-Resident Women Students Forum. Please, ma'am.
Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 24, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Non-Residential Student Forum and Sports Committee of MCC, I welcome each one of you who are gathered here. Sports has the ability to change lives towards gender equality, teamwork, self-reliance, resilience, and confidence. A study says girls and women who play sports have higher level of confidence, self-esteem, and lower level of depression. Exercise improves learning abilities, memory, and concentration. I take this opportunity to appreciate Sports Committee and non-resident women student cabinet members for the initiative to inaugurate Zenith. This is the first kind to MCC. Zenith is an interdepartmental sports event exclusively for the non-resident women students of the college. There will be indoor as well as outdoor events conducted with the judges, participants, and few volunteers. Safety measures owing to the COVID situation will be strictly followed. I thank Dr. J.M. Vishwanath, Professor Pramina, the physical directors, Professor Shobana, and others who are going to help us in this event. I once again thank each one of you for being available for this event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. Non-resident Women Students Forum strives to show their excellence, and their next step towards it is by organizing the sports event Zenith. Now I invite K. Ashika Devi, Department of Political Science, Sports Secretary of Non-Resident Women Students Forum 2020-21, to share about the goals and aims of the upcoming sports event Zenith.
Respected dignitaries, teachers, and my dear friends, great morning to all. I, K. Ashika Devi, delighted that the current cabinet of Non-Resident Women Students Forum, Madras Christian College, is able to fulfill my dream of hosting Zenith. I would like to quote the words of Hayward Brown: "Sports do not build characters, they reveal it." Zenith was initiated to empower women in sports and games. Sports help students to face the challenges of life, empower women in essential beings for the life, empowering health and social development of women. Women must be given equal opportunities in every field. Zenith will provide a platform where women will acquire the power to transform lives by teaching women teamwork, self-reliance, resilience, confidence, and make inspiring role models and show men and women as equals. When we took this idea to our beloved physical directress, she was more excited and supported us in conducting Zenith. Zenith definitely will one of the strongest beginning to cherish the sport talents of the non-resident women students of Madras Christian College. Will be a motivation to many of my friends and fellow beings to bring out and showcase their talents. The main aim of Zenith is to empower women and enlighten the young talents. More than 15 sports events will be conducted in Zenith, focusing on developing the skills of students. I kindly request every non-resident woman to take part and participate and use the potential to the fullest. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yashika. Now, I kindly request our Principal, Dr. P. Wilson, and Physical Directress, Dr. Shobana, to declare the sports event Zenith, organized by Non-Resident Women Students Forum, open. Please, sir. Please, ma'am.
Just read out the script, that's it. We declare the Zenith Non-Resident Women Students Forum Sports Meet open.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It's time to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanathan. I request Dr. Raki Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry and member of Sports Committee, to introduce the guest speaker of today. Please, ma'am.
Dignitaries on dais, sports committee member, and my dear students. I'm so happy to see you gathered within a short communication. I'm really thankful for you to communicate and gathered here. I would like to raise few questions here for women students which meditate their participation in sports and games. Do you feel that sports and games activity are a core component for your school education, but as you enter in a college level, it subsides? Or better I can say, indeed, it is hijacked by your theory and practical classes. I hope you agree. Do you? Moreover, women participation in sports and participations also govern few factors like parenting, tradition, your physical health, as well as academic pressure. But days are not going to last, it is going to come again, and I take an opportunity to introduce our guest speaker who is very strong in physical education and health science, and today definitely she is going to enlighten us, which will help for the enhancement of women students' participation in sports and game activity. When I gone through a CV, it is so lengthy. Ma'am, I apologize in shortening if I have omitted some information. Definitely. She has gained 30 years of experience in teaching and research with a specialization in physical education and health science, kinesiology and biomechanics, exercise physiology and yoga. She has very frequently invited by the satellite channels like Vijay TV, Jaya TV, Anna FM Radio, NDTV, European channel for Tamil viewers to address health issues for public concerns. She has choreographed rhythmic gymnastic and step aerobics in inaugurational and closing ceremony in the 6th SF South Asian Games in 1995 when it was held in Chennai. She has been honored 3 times by the Honorable Chief Minister and Governor of Tamil Nadu along with 8 other awards. I think we can clap here. Still, she has been resource persons for many programs and others extracurricular activity. But now I just introduce her early education, how she came here. Her schooling is from Kendri Vidyalaya. So she is well known with all northern and southern culture, and a part of her education she completed in a northern part of India and other in a southern part. So she received her graduation, she did her graduation and post-graduation in Gwalior, Lakshmi by National Institute of Physical Education located in Gwalior and affiliated to Jivaji University. Then she received her PhD degree from Annamalai University, Chidambaram. After completing her PhD, she did Master in Science in Yoga and Neuropathy. She is a very good researcher and recognized supervisor to guide PhD, and till now total 22 students have been awarded PhD under her supervision along with 103 MPhil candidates. Still, task is going on. She has published 72 research articles with good citation, out of which 43 articles have been published in international journal having impact factor more than 6. She has authored many books with international and national publisher along with tutorial notes for the students of distance education. Ma'am, we are highly impressed to go through your CV and expect your encouraging words will definitely help us to come forward in health science and will inspire the student to participate in a sports activity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I cordially invite our guest speaker, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanathan, Associate Professor, YMCA College of Physical Education, to enlighten us with your words. Please, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It is indeed a very great dream of visiting MCC on this auspicious occasion, and probably after 30 years, I have come as a guest under the leadership of your beloved and very good man as such, the principal, Dr. P. Wilson, very young and energetic man. The thing that I was just thinking, Madras Christian College. So Madras is the term which was basically converted into Chennai, and there were people who were asking the Madras to be retained, and I think MCC is one who could excel in retaining the term as Madras Christian College, because all over the world it is renowned and it's one of the famous colleges in the world. It's same like IIT Madras and then Madras University. Even the railway stations have been changed, so you could retain that, and congratulations. And the way your principal thinks, proactive, we call it as proactive. So that is what is very essential in every individual. We should not act after the situation arises, yeah? And he thinks ahead. So I just asked him, when are you going to retire? He has got ample of years to retire. So I think may God bless you, and may all your wishes turn true. And let me thank the Department of Physical Education who has taken my name to the management and the principal to invite me. So respected Dr. Sukumar sir, who is here, and a very eminent personality in the field of physical education, who is also associated with MCC's added credit to the institution, and the physical director, Dr. Vishwa, and new Madam Shobha has come in, and Dr. James had been my student, and a very pleasing boy right from the beginning. I think I was very young when I entered the college, and since then I've been seeing him the same, no change in him. So, and there are more students like Michael and Robin. No, Robin? Amal Das, yeah. Robin and Prabhu Enge. Prabhu is not, Dr. Prabhu. Well, so all these had been my student, and thank you, let me go with it. Madam, you people are working behind the screen for the growth of the sports, and there is a team which is working in the name of Zenith. So may God bless you, and may all your wishes turn true. Now I take the opportunity to go for presentation, and I have come long before to, we say that Arva Kollar abdinvangala, probably adavai theriyala. James asked me to come a little before, so that inspired me. Well, so the topic, was given by James. I was just thinking that yes, I can go with the fitness for women. I thought a very big forum would be there out here. So, there are only people who are evening college, non-residential, the terminology has come, which is very new to me, very fine. And sports culture, that has to be developed in women, that is the vision of your principal and the Department of Physical Education, to inspire women to take part in this. So my topic on sports culture among women would lead you what is the existing scenario, right? And then slowly I will take you to how non-sportsmen can also indulge yourself into physical education, right? So sports is one of the consolidating factor basically, which is at the, India, you all know how we were and today how we are excelling. And it is the integration that basically develops and it gets into the national character building, which is one of the most required, needy for every Indian citizen. So, Government of India is also taking up so many initiatives in bringing this culture of sports, not only in women, in general population also. So, when we look into women, you see there had been so many attacks when a woman excels, right? When P.T. Usha gets, and she's called as golden women or gold, that doesn't goes high. When it comes to a male, then it is much more higher, right? The feather on the cap for a woman is slightly lesser than the male. So women, right from the ancient Greece, if you see, the history when it started in Sparta and Athens, the women were only exclusively at home, who were there only to beget child, and they brought up the child for the nation. They were not allowed to take part in any kind of sports, and they were totally at home. Slowly, the child was also taken away from the mother and the child was given to the nation, and the state nurse used to come and nurture the child, and it was totally for the nation, the child, any child, okay? If the child is not healthy, they used to throw the child on the, on the top, where it used to die naturally. So that was the system where the doctors, a team of doctors used to come and inspect the child, whether the child is healthy or not. If not healthy, they used to kill. So that is how the Spartas and Athens, worked on general women itself. So the issues here is that the gender scenario type need to be broken. This is what, if a women population in India, keeps excelling in Olympics and higher and higher, and even when the MCC gold medalist in the sports participation is high, then we can say that the women, gender is growing. That is what we need. We get more freedom to choose what we need to do. So an equal opportunity has to be provided to both men and women. That is why your institution has started the term, under the banner of Zenith, so that the women can be encouraged. So what are the factors basically which influence the participation and achievement of women and girls in sports? So opportunity. So while I was studying in Gwalior, I studied in physical education college. I used to travel by train, and if somebody used to ask me, what are you doing? For that sake itself, I used to be on the top berth itself. I never used to come down. They used to look at me. I used to come down and go to the loo and then go on the top. At times, with hesitation, they used to ask me, what are you doing? I used to say, I'm doing my physical education. They never knew what is physical education. Is there any education of such type was also a big question mark. Though Chennai had a physical education college, and still it was not known to the normal people. Then it hesitated me, and with hesitation, I asked him, what are you doing? He said he's doing a BD business, right? Then in my heart I felt physical education will break the BD walas and we will go high. So that is how it is. So opportunity today is more high. Provisions are there. You have lots of provisions which has come. We were talking about the technology and the facilities and this and that. Nothing of that. Then esteem, the respect, the funding, the prize money, the sponsorship, medias, they are obviously not for women, but we have to break that barrier. And the public image, a woman is a sportsman means they will have a bad image. So when judo was introduced while I was studying, I asked I was selected for inter-university. I asked my mom, how is that, can I go for it? She said, no, I saw a girl, when she was put on a bout, her top came up, and don't get into that. Yes, that costume that was worn during those days, a girl was put on the, upside down in the TV, it was exhibited, and she said, no, don't go for such kind of game. When I used to come from Gwalior, she used to always inspect me, what dress I am wearing, and the banyana potave, gone. Amma ellarum paakranga aamla mari sutharamma envaanga enne. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இமேஜ் நம்ம வீட்லயே நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸ், எங்க அப்பா ஆர்மி, நார்த்லேயே இருந்து பிறந்து வளர்ந்து பேண்ட் தான் என்னுடைய காஸ்டியூமாகவே இருந்தது. எங்களுக்கே இந்த நிலைமைனா அப்போ நினச்சி பார்க்கணும், how would be the scenario. ஸோ ஒரு வாட்டி சம்மரில் வரும்போதே அந்த பாவாடை சட்டை was the only thing which made us to visit to our relative's house. Okay, I'm not talking that we were very, my Chittappa was a bank manager from Reserve Bankla. அந்த மாதிரி உள்ள ஒரு ஃபேமிலியில் நான் வரும்போதும் எங்களுக்கே இந்த things were laid on. So the attitude makes. If the attitude of the people around is good, right, good. That is how, and today the scenarios are changing. Of course, the myths are being broken, and community, family, schools are also coming up. So how are we going to go? So what are the aspects of society prevent women from participating in sports? So poor sponsorship. If it is a women tournament, women match, I remember when I used to go for inter-university for kabaddi in Rewa, Madhya Pradeshla ஒரு வாட்டி all India inter-university, அப்போல்லாம் எல்லாம் all India தான், இப்போ தான் South Zone has come. So நேராக போய் நிற்கிறாங்க, only male public, that's what. So when they used to look at a beautiful girl, எங்கள் குரூப்பில் ஒரு முன்னு ஒரு பொண்ணு இருந்துச்சு, நல்லா லிப்ஸ்டிக் போட்டு பெங்காலி, நல்லா ஸ்ட்ரவுட், கபட் என்ன எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிச்சு முன்னு, whole stadium முன், that அந்த ஒரு இன்சல்ட், அப்புறம் முன்முனை தேடிட்டு வந்தாங்க, they used to disturb her. So many things, those days, but now the things have changed. Yeah, so no people comes for sponsoring if it is a women tournament, and then they call women as a weaker sex, right? And mainly they make a woman to be a housewife. That is inborn in us, that we have to do our duty. Beyond that, we have something more which can be performed. And then poor media coverage, cricket match arkotom, football match, if it is for women, there is poor media coverage even today, and participation of peer, right? And then considered unfeminine by society. Society வந்து ஒரு women பார்த்தனா ஒரு masculine அப்படின்றத பார்க்குறாங்க, but it is not so. It is not so. You could see how many Mary Kom, and she's mother of so many children. Yeah, and still she had been excelling. What is gone wrong with her? I have seen the big weightlifters who are working in NIS as a coach, women. They were lifting weights. Other weight lift பண்ணாலும் danger for women in Vanga. So that was the scenario which went on with it. But they are also now mother. They are leading a very happy life. Nothing of that type can kill a woman. So what are the factors affecting women's participation? I have discussed a little, like socialization is something which is very high. Yeah, socialization or simple ordinary idhula poren nanu. So if a girl goes for it and somebody sponsor varangana, they will take 50 to 60% of the sponsorship for them, one who brings sponsorship, that is there. Okay, and only 30% or 20% of the money reaches the women. That is one. Family commitment is very less. Schools are not advising girls to go, and if they win small medal, they can make them to stand in front in the morning assembly and they can reward the child. But that is now increasing, but slowly we are breaking. The culture of sports has to be done. Yeah, so I appreciate MCC for bringing up this culture. I don't know how many of you have been playing during the school days. It's again a question mark. There are women who start exercising while they are pregnant, right? And they wouldn't have exercised earlier days. So I am more with the pregnancy and exercise and women oriented with that. When I take the data, they tell that I have never exercised in my life. So that is the reality. When it comes to the consciousness, when your attitude is good and you want to break that, and that culture has to be inculcated in the childhood itself. So there are many things which goes with it, and let us go with the history. So historically I have spoken a little about the Sparta and the Athens, and when you think even earlier, like pole vault wasn't there for women. Why? Because they thought that women don't have strength. Slowly it had come, right? Pole vault. Hammer throw was not there for women. It has come now. Triple jump it requires so much of power in the lower back and in your lower limbs. Fine, it was not for women. Now it is there. Steeplechase, like that, many events were not there for women. Slowly they are trying to bring it, and there is no parity between male and the female. So let it be services, let it be army. When I qualified in the year 1991 with NET and JRF MPhil, army was open to women. So when I wanted to enter the army, by then I was qualified to work in the college, so I didn't leave that, right? So there are many attitudes which are getting changed, and we are trying to prove that the women are equivalent to men. So women attitude, what it goes, the image of the male and the female has an effect on participation in sports, and then competitive sports often has a characteristics of masculinity. Yeah, So if you see the village, if you're going to say Asian Games village or where the athletes have all gathered, yeah, the moment you look a stout, tall, big fat, you can make out with the type itself they are in the throw events. When they are in a different kind of thin, slim attitude, yeah, they must be in the athletic. So in the sprint event, sorry, like that we try to make out. But generally, when you look, we expect a woman sportsman, பார்த்தவே தெரியுது ஆம்பளை மாதிரி இருக்கு அப்படின்பாங்க. That's what is the thing which comes. But it is not that. The attitude is changing today and women are very conscious. They are trying to expose themselves in a better manner. So if women are involved in competitive sports, society often disapproves. Yeah. So society will support participation in gymnastics because it requires more of femininity, more of grace, more of rhythm, and as they have the attitude towards the femininity. So yes, but hunting for spots, okay, food is exactly what today's society is. I just don't want to shift on to the next one. And you see rugby, soccer, cricket, all these has been now given to women. We all are working on it. Unfortunately, female role in the proportion of society are still reviewed as subservient to the male. Yeah, that is what we look now. And when you see the versus, male versus female, and next. So more men in leadership role within sports. If you see BCC, the president or whichever sport you see, the male dominates there. And I had just come across a situation where when a woman is put, they take her into some kind of problem, they dig her there and they take other support from them, okay, indirectly. I don't know, if a woman is very successful, always she's in threat. Obviously she is in threat. You have to understand that. We have to break that and get into the position and be daring. If you're too daring, again you have to be snubbed. It is now being exhibited. So women have to be over smart. If she's over smart, again there is being pressure from the societal or from that particular federation or association it comes. So more male role models than female. Now whom do you think, whom you like, they will try, you will see that the models are very less as long as when you compare that. So women barriers can basically cater activities that is unrecently, and more male oriented sports than female, more male coaches than female, and some of the national governing bodies slow to accept female sports as they attract less attention than male sports. So this is what is happening now. Ranji Trophy women kirka vandirche, mindiyala only it was male. So everything they are trying to equalize. Now we are breaking young generation. Once I was sitting in Vijay TV la kelvigal ayiram appdinu ukandittirukken. I also sat in the Kadayilla Nijam. When I sat in the Kelvigal Ayiram, there were questions from some of the colleges, girls, they started raising what are the harassment that is on by the coaches. Public open ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சிடுச்சு. உடனே we had to censor என்ன பேசுறாங்க அதை பார்த்துட்டு நீங்க இங்க forward பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு. The calls may be forwarded here. So sometimes it becomes very embarrassing. Some of the girls undergo lots of trauma and they overcome with great difficulties. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு டீம்ல இருக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா, one girl is in the team, again she would have undergone so many turmoils in her life and then she would be in the position. So all that we still need to work on it. Yeah, who can raise the status of women's sports? That is what we look for. So we want the media, we want the sports centers, we want the schools, the colleges like MCC. You should be the benchmark. I think this should be the benchmark, could be exhibited of your zenith can be brought forward. And then the sponsorship, the national governing bodies and the sports foundations have to come out in this manner. Now women in media. Now even when you see women in media, the newspapers, when you look into the newspaper, there are only 5% of the coverage in the newspaper itself. That is what, there will be many comments that would be passed also sometimes by some of the people, but averagely when you see. So the media creates a public image of sports and individuals. That is what it is. And it creates role models. Media creates the influence in finance. And when the media is high, the game goes high. That is where it is. And there are many, not many journalists who are working actually with the media. So when you see into the sporting audience, as I said, those days, even while the gymnastics in Warangal, when I was sitting there, everywhere male spectators are more than the female. We have to break that also. We have to go encourage the women playing, and they prefer the power, speed and dynamism associated with traditional male sports. This is what is the media looking for, rather than aesthetic and technical brilliance of some sports women, right? So the majority of the editors are male. So if you see the journalists who give the write-up on the sports are almost all are male. And today, to attract, like in, they are making one women to sit. But when they project that women in the media, you know, they all are with the coat and all that, they will sit. But this lady will sit with the different attire. Why? Because she is the center of the attraction. Yeah, her costume will be totally designed in a different manner, so that the more male will also sit. When the female sits in, the male will go off. So this is what today is happening, and I think you all can understand with what I'm trying to speak on. So many newspapers and TV channels do not cover the minority sports, like as they cannot afford to be different. Like Coco, they will not. Male, Kabaddi, they will try to. Now it has become more money one. So we have the problem, and self-fulfilling prophecies are there. The media creates sports stars who become role models and increase participation. That is one. And sports with large audience attract media. That is another thing. So when you see the TV channels, when they try to sponsor live, you know, there are competitions which is on, to which media takes up that. There is so much of things goes on at the back. I don't know how far you people are aware of it, you know, to get that royalty of publishing or putting it on live on, say, Star Channel or Doordarshan or this channel or that channel or CCN, like many channels are there. So they have politics playing there also, how to catch that, right? So women funding, as we said, when you look at the British Open, you know, golf championship, women get just 10% of the male prize money. How a shame it is. And it has been announced recently that the male winner at Wimbledon, this year is 30,000 pounds more than the female winner. Very pathetic. And if women receives less prize money for doing the same job as men, is called as discrimination, right? If female sport receives less sponsorship than male sports, their opportunities for the development are clearly unequal and restricted. Fine. Even now, if a woman want to wear, like Sania Mirza, when she wore shorts and she played, there was so many questions which were raised by Pakistanis, because after her marriage, she had gone for the tournament and it was raised. So if they are allowed to wear shorts on top of the skirt, so this is what is another thing which is now working. And of course, now our Sindhu was in a beautiful attire while she was playing for the Olympics. Right, now ethnic minorities. So when you look into the ethnic minorities, you know, there is a racism, there is color, and sportsmen, women are usually black, you know, only from Punjab or this or that kind of thing which keeps coming. And handicapped people were totally, you know, excluded, and you could see the women taking part in Paralympics and bringing medal for India. So racism stems from the juristic linked with the power and the racial group. Well, earlier it was blacks and the whites, and we were all called as blacks only, Indians of course. So though illegal racism still exists on the ground of color, so language and culture and such things. And let me not discuss on it, let me kick it off and then go. Now you see the India with the linguistics, like Hindi spoken people are doing better in sports. That is what has been analyzed, and Bengalis have come with 8.1%, and if you see the Tamil Nadu, right, we have given 5.9 contribution in the sports. So this is the data which speaks about the women participation in India based on the languages, and how do schools influence female participation? So they can basically provide choices of activities. They only play Coco, they only play some game. But there are people who do well, but teachers in the schools don't opt for the game which is slightly richer and it requires more of facilities or technology or equipments to be provided. So if you see the amount which is allocated is 1,000 rupees in the government corporation schools, right? So it becomes big question mark, like how many balls can they buy out of 1,000 rupees? Very ashaming, yes? Can't you feel that how bad it is to take out of that 1,000 rupees? Some people take bribe, 30% எடுத்துட்டு 70% தான் equipment கொடுப்பாங்க. That is again a bad thing. So poor choices, girls' achievements are not valued as much as boys, and girls' physical education and school sports has a lower status than boys within school and local community. So physical education and school sports is not cool part of it. Suppose that you would have been well in your school days, probably you would have been better in the college days. So we need to go with that accordingly. So let me again push off to the actual one. And how does society view female who strive for excellence in sports, right? So they look at the masculineship, like if you can do push-ups, 10 push-ups of women, amla mari seira. Why? Can't she lift her own weight? Can't she climb on the rope? Oh, na mari pandra if she goes on the top. So when they appreciate a person, that also with a different man, they compare with the boy. Amla mari irkra. She runs like a male. Her stride lengths are like a male, that's what. So even the human potentials are there. Limitations are there. Like below 9 seconds, no human being can run 100 meters. That is certified for human being. Whereas a cheetah can run. Cheetah has the ability to run. It's the fastest animal, right? So we in human being are trying to break that barrier of running 100 meters below 9 seconds is going to be a challenge in coming days. Like that they have kept for every event. Yeah? This is the limit of the human being, that beyond this they can't, or below this they can't. That is where. And women are basically born lesser than the male. That is what is the human potential. Biologically or physiologically we are lesser, women are lesser. But we don't have to compete with the boys. We have to compete at the international level, women to women. That is why we are looking on. So not socially accepted, then determined or obsessed, but perhaps not a very good way, not as important as male athletes. So this is what is the thing. And now when you see the 19,000 Olympics in Paris that the women were able to take part in the games, female had a choice of participating in either golf or tennis. That is where the term lawn tennis came into existence. Those Britishers, when they were here, they used to play in the lawn. The women were allowed to play in the lawn. Then it became lawn tennis. Today the term lawn has been removed and it is called as only tennis. So no more you can call it as lawn tennis. So that is how we go. When you see Olympics, the male used to perform in the naked, the body, they were nude while they were performing in the Olympics, in the ancient Olympics. They did not have any attire on the top. Gymnastics, what a meaning in it, that means exercise in nude. So when it used to be nude, the female were not allowed to even witness the competitions. Fine. So இது எல்லாமே மொள்ள break பண்ணி the world has brought the changes. And today, nevertheless, it was in 1981 when the International Olympic Committee had any female delegates. So this number has continued to increase, but there is still huge imbalance. This is what it is. So today government is telling, நான் படிக்கும்போது it was 20% of women. எங்க classல 100 students, there were 100 students in a class. So out of the 100 students, 20 girls compulsory, 1, 2, 3, 4, we had a ranking, and I was studying in the Central Ministry of Youth Affairs College, okay. In that, today they have raised it to 33%. So out of 100 students, 33 students irrespectively will be women, okay. So this is where it goes with it. Today, women are girls in the solvanga, whereas male boys in they don't call. There also there is some kind of parity which goes. So when the women are given, the role of women in sport is heavily affected by sexiest view of men. If you see beach volleyball or some of the girls when they come with their proper attire, what is the attire that to be worn for the athletes? It is two-piece. They cannot go with one single piece, right? So the rule says that. So as to make it more convenient for them to stretch their leg, stride length, they wear the dress so that it can be comfortable. But then people view, the cameramen view them with the different eye, and they project only the women who looks more sexier. So there, there was another WhatsApp which came in the Rio Olympics, the beautiful girls taking part in the Olympics, right? So there were pictures, this, they're all stylish. You see them when you bring them to the advertisement and all that, they're totally beautiful ladies. So this is where it was being viewed. And so what is this? Basically the sexism. It is the prejudice, the scenario-type of discrimination typically against women. So this is what is this? So we need to give equal, gender equality has to come in as. So sexism, see it, name it, and stop it. This is what we look for. Now, what are the personality traits in sports? So when you look at, there are A type, B type, and there are otherwise when you see, the classification by Friend, by Sheldon's classification, there are many classifications which goes with the thing. So when you look into the traits in sports, it is characterized as A type as patience, works at a rapid pace, higher level of stress, easily aroused, strong desire to succeed, all that kind of stuff. So athlete, if you see Jackie Joyner, she broke her own world record in the Olympics, in this next Olympic. What had happened? She died due to massive heart attack, right? So a young woman at 38 years, when she dies, she breaks her own world record, and it is tremendous, unbelievable. But then because of the stress, because of the arousal level, because of the medicines or tablets or something which is being given to her to take part in the competition has probably put her into the stress, and she died due to heart attack. But not all. So what are the B type is? They are relaxed, patient, allow time for tasks to be completed, tolerance of others' mistake, delegates easily, low personal stress, calm, and most of the situation, and less competitive. So A type, B type, this is what we see, and based on that game, yeah, if you see a footballer, they will walk like this. Why? Because they dribble in this manner, and their posture changes. Let it be male or female, it goes. If it's athlete, they keep one stride leg in front of the other. So their walk becomes, how do they walk? One leg in front of the walk. You see the catwalk, it comes like this. It has to be one in front, one in front, one in front, and swing. So actually when you see the walking method itself, science itself says that one has to be in, there should be a small bounce, there should be a swing. If all of us start walking like a ram walk or like a thing, people will talk, eppadi nadakra paare. It should be rhythmic. It should be rhythmic. So why do they put music on the ram? Why? Because it has to, the walk has to be rhythmic. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Not like that. So it has to be. So walking is an art. Even if you start with that, walk straight, walk with the swing, walk with the bounce, it becomes beautiful. So it depends upon the personality of an individual, how you take it up. So why to encourage, basically? So when you see a woman, generally now I have taken this from there, the atherosclerosis is something which is attacking people. Now I want, not that the sportsman should take part, why a woman has to involve in the sports. So this is something which is attacking every woman, and when you compare, particularly in South India, I'll give you another census later. So atherosclerosis is something where in your blood vessels the fats gets deposited, and the amount of bad cholesterol keeps accumulating, one gets into the problem of high cholesterol in the body. Now women have started smoking, women have started drinking, they have become almost like nothing to speak. I was working in Pondicherry University in 2011. All women, no worry. Other state South India is open market for them. So once I was the examiner for yoga in same Pondicherry University, ingindu pona ippo recently. I saw the girls coming with the shorts on. When they sat, I was sitting there and they were down. While they were performing the asanas, I said, stop doing it, go change your dress and come. In Kerala, do you walk from your hostel to the main building with the shorts? Can you do this? Ella thirumbi ponang, ella track pant powder, they wore their track pant and came. See, we should know what are our limits. We cannot, if our parents are not there to put us into restriction, we are not supposed to go beyond it. Now you have come to the college, your parents have got confidence in you and they rely on you, what you are. So what is being taught during your childhood has to be kept in. Don't try to misuse the opportunity which is given to you, right? So we should adhere as a woman, adhere to the restrictions, to the limit, and that should be conscious. That should be conscious, not that somebody comments on you. So the smoking, obesity, diabetes, even at 22 years, one gets heart attack. How is that? It is all because of inactivity. So one need to be active. A woman getting on to not able to bear a child or whatever it is, because of frequent use of laptop on the laps, all these things are there which does not allow the woman, not only the I'm not talking about the sportsman, the ordinary women to get into a pregnancy. Right. Now if you see this paper I just took during the COVID time, so the diabetes women in India, you see South India, particularly in Kerala and Andhra Pradesh, the diabetes patients are wide, very wide. So this is what is the census has spoken, and Tamil Nadu is just behind, third, fourth it is, and Telangana of course both the same states. So why? Why? Because of inactivity and the type of diet that they're taking. So it makes them to get into that. Now when you see the women related other diseases like, this is the census, 2% of the women are diabetes, respiratory diseases, cancer 7%, the cervical cancer is coming up as they're growing old, above 60, women are getting into cervical cancer. So we have to take care, make them also to work out and do some kind of exercise. Communicable diseases like 28%, injury, break of bone and fracture and all that, 12% like that. And cardiac diseases are again growing to 26%. So this is what is the women in India. And because of the anxiety symptoms, today the world is very competitive. You have to take a proper step, move forward with the sporting, you need to get a job. So one is very anxious, and what are the symptoms that takes place in your body, the physiological changes are all, trying to put you into varied problems. So as to get away from all that, sport can only help you to break that. Now when you look into the stroke that is related to death are more concentrated compared with the death caused due to the coronary heart disease. Again, you see the ratio is very high in South India. So we need to break that, how we can get away into the healthy life. So obesity is another thing. It used to be very rare for us to see gundu ladies, and as long as they are in the college, they are fine. The moment they get married, the moment they beget or give delivery to a baby, they change. Oh, ipdi irundha naan ipdi aayiten. Oh, what? Why? Because you became mother. No, motherhood is not the something. Pregnancy is not a lifelong. It is only a temporary confinement. It would change. It's a physiological change, which you will come back to the normal. They don't think that. They just don't think. Today, you need to exercise even during pregnancy. Only then the child which comes out is in the apt size, and mother also recovers, the baby recovers very faster. So obesity, just watching TV, sitting, eating, online food, all Zomato and Zuki and all that, anytime you get anything, but you don't see how much of trans fatty acids are there, what is the food calories are there, what is the ingredients that is being added in it. Nothing, just blindly eat, keep eating, 1 second, third, gone. It is in your blood for long. So this is what is the thing, and you need to prevent only through sports participation. Obesity can be broken. So there are many eating disorders like binge eating. So from binge eating it has gone to binge drinking. Binge eating, very often they eat. Now it is now changing. The male have become binge drinking. Anytime they comb their hair, drink. They come out, they drink. Anytime they drink, right? So that has come in. So basically in women you see binge eating is very often when they are at home, they keep munching. And anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, night eating syndrome, pica. Pica is anything they get, like pencil, they get one grass, rubber band, they keep munching. So this is a child's behavior attitude, but still some of them have this attitude of taking pica. So bulimia, that this is another disorder that the women want to look beautiful sometimes. Being a sportsman, they need to have good energy to participate. They don't take a proper calorie so that they can compete well and take part and perform well. So this has to be curtailed, and the women has to be taught about this. And cancer is something, as I said, it's attacking women. Again, if you are physically inactive, this is going to attack, and women with the cancer are going to increase like anything. That we have to be very, very careful. And lung cancer, you should need to know the symptoms. So persistent cough, sputum streaked with blood, chest pain, recurring pneumonia or bronchitis. So this is the symptom of lung cancer. Go to the doctor immediately. And if the person is cigarette smoker, passive smoking is also being influenced, and exposure to certain industrial substances and radiation. Basically the induction stove at home is also very dangerous. Microwaves are very dangerous. So you can reduce the usage of fast, if you keep something in the stove, the boiling time takes higher than when you keep it in the induction stove, right? But the induction stove has got a big size, your pan is small size. So the radiation which come out on the side affects your skin, your hair, your environment. And then the towers on top of your house, the like some of the cell phone towers are there. They're all causing injury indirectly, but nobody knows about it. And the days will come where people will be more with the cancer rather than being fine. So these exposures has to be totally stopped. And then breast cancer is something again which is killing. You have to know the signs and the symptoms, what it is. Speak to your parents, doctor, that is very good. And after 50 years, one has to go for the checkup very often, right? So, and then colon and the rectum cancer is another thing. If you are not able to pass motion very fine, you have to go to the doctor. Try to take more of the fiber. Keera, what have you prepared, mom? Keera. Aadu maadu. They say, aadu maadu dhaan saapiduvanga only. So, but actually it is so good, you don't know the reality of what it is. So more of the fiber, nalla naar chakti ullada you eat. It will clean, just like a brush you clean your stomach, and it will clean and your bowel will be clean. So if you don't pass motion every day, it would lead to some kind of problem, and the first thing which is causing is colon and the rectum cancer, which cannot be cured. If it is uterus, in the beginning you can take out, but if it is cervical, you just can't do it, you can't remove that. If it is gallbladder, you can take it off. If it is breast cancer, you can remove and go for chemotherapy and all that. But then when it comes to colon and rectal cancer, you cannot amputate or you cannot dissect or take out the part, and one have to suffer from it. So we have to be very careful. The moment there is some kind of rectal bleeding, become careful and take care. And if it is history, parents have had cancer, we have to be very careful. If they have undergone diabetes, we have to be very careful, 100% careful. So eating frequently sweets would definitely affect the production of insulin from the pancreas. So don't think that getting sweets or eating sweet very frequently is great. Those days rarely we used to get kheer, rarely sweet, only prasadam we used to get, and that was the time we used to eat chocolate. But if today you see big chocolate, the boys munching, my God, so much of calorie. Oh my God, 1 calorie packet of chips, it contains 530 kilocalories. So if you have to take 2000 calories a day, one chips packet itself is containing 540 calories. Then how about the 1500 calories? What would you take to compensate? Very dangerous. So you have to see the calorie content in each food item that is sold in the market. Look at the ingredients. look at the expiry, whether it's veg or non-veg, all that has to be taken care of. And then osteoporosis is again something which is hurting people, and because of the age, the bone becomes more tender. Small fall, they break their bone. I kept my leg on the plastic paper, I slipped. What had happened? Broken my bone. Then it leads to surgery, and then the pain, the trauma, the stress the women undergoes with the house tasks, with the work tasks, with the driving, with the children, and she can't take care of herself. So don't have to put your problems on others. We have to take it up for ourselves. So exercising is one of the best way to keep your bone density. Sit in the sun for 8 hours, only then you get the daily vitamin D. This is what is said. Till 20 years, if you have been sitting under the sun for as long as that is called as passport to the health. So the bone density increases till 20 years, and it is carried throughout the life. Every time you see sun, close gloves, and you go, what is that? Expose yourself to the sun. Our suns are so good. Doctor says that 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock sun is so good, and blacks require more amount of exposure to the sun comparatively than whites. Yeah, so it absorbs less vitamin D comparatively. We don't get afraid of sun, don't get away. The more you get sun, take it, store it. In foreign countries, they sit and they store like a adipose tissue, like vitamin D, and they use it for 3 months. Again, when the sun comes, they are all the time under the sun. They keep absorbing it, they store it in the body, and then use it for another 3 months. For them, they will not get sun in the Scandinavian countries and all. So that is how they take it. Don't get into the fancy alcohol drinking or cigarette smoking. Even one trial can throw you. Better be careful. Even if you drink and enter into the Olympic arena, you are sent out. So no person can enter the arena even if they drink and get on. Even caffeine is something which has been objected. Just before the competition, you cannot take caffeine, and all those certain restricted items are there which you have to adhere with it. So osteoporosis can be avoided if you have a good diet. Don't skip your meal. Eat healthy. Don't eat very often in the hotels. Yeah, eat the food which has been prepared at home, and that is the way you can eat. You can live and keep your bone density well. And bone health can be genetic, like male have a better bone, okay, so female comparatively lesser because of the diet that we take, the exercise, the body weight, and the hormonal secretion. Because of the estrogen formation and all that, the bone becomes looser. So bone cancer is something again which is also very prevalent, but we only talk about COVID. There are so many patients every day. 10,000 people die due to tuberculosis and cancer, but we are more worried about COVID. Yeah, but be careful, because the pain is something which is the most and the first symptom which catches. I had gone along with one of my former principal to one of the hospital where a lady was sitting with the cancer on her lower of the bone. So she said that she used to take only painkiller of her own because she had 2 male children doing medicine. She used to work at home, and to avoid all that, she used to do that. And a stage came when she had to enjoy the life. She was put into bed, and at last treatment, and it's very painful. The cycle where they undergo during the cancer and all, very painful. So this is where the women have to be very conscious. The moment you find the hair is falling, you become conscious. The moment you find there's some change in your skin or ulcer in your mouth, become conscious. Don't have to hide it. Don't have to just keep bearing the pain of your own. So think of it. Find out what is the symptom of the pain, where it is, why, take an X-ray. You can definitely go for the treatment. If it is early, everything is curable. Yeah, and anemia is something which is again catching. So women diet is so poor that even in our college, the blood donors came, like some Rotary Club or something, and all the women, they came for donating blood. They had some solution with them. They pricked them and they put the blood in that solution. If it is floating, that means the blood is not suitable to be collected, and if it goes down, the density is high, then they used to go for it. Almost 60-70% of the women were anemic, right? That was the thing. So never have to feel for it. Anganwadi is there, the local hospitals are there. They have got plenty of funding only to cure anemia. Those tablets are very good. You can go, they'll give you 10 tablets once in a month. You can have that tablet. Once you take the cycle, you can compensate that. So if you are anemic, your oxygen carrying capacity will be less, you will go tired, the sportsman will not be able to perform well. So diet plays a very vital role for a sportsman to come. Some people are born with good anemia, hemoglobin in their body. So if it is not there, then there are many ways naturally that you can take, and you can take the support of the government in curing the anemia. So it is the mineral iron is vital for your red blood cells. It helps you to carry oxygen to your working muscles. And if the body store of iron is low and there is too little iron in the diet, the symptom of iron deficiency anemia, like India flag, right? Orange, white and green, that is where it is. So less of deep fried ones can be there, and relax for 20 minutes a day. Even IAS officers, they have the cot in their room, they relax for 20 to half an hour and then they come back. So when you do that, your working capacity increases for rest of the hours that you work till you get onto your bed at night. And then floss every day, drink varieties of tea. There are cardamom tea, clove tea, green tea, ginger tea, cinnamon tea. There are many types of teas are there. You can have that. Be active, get more sleep, and you can also eat more protein, right? So one should look fine. So looking at your height and weight, one should look absolutely fine, pleasing. It's not that I'm dark, I'm short, I'm thin, I'm tall, and nothing. How you appear to be, that is what makes the difference. So break all that. Whatever you are, your appearance should make. According to your height, are you in that particular weight? Yeah, that has to be judged. If not, your waistline should be small. So smaller your waistline, the longer the lifeline. Let it be male, let it be female. Both are supposed to have shorter waistline. So your hip ratio beyond 100 centimeter is dangerous. So one have to be very conscious, right? So BMI, you all know what it is. So physical fitness basically includes the skill related. All the sportsmen can get into skill related fitness, and all the people who are not taking part in the sports have to rely on the health related fitness components. So for all those who are not in the sports can get onto health related components like aerobic fitness. You need to run for a while. One day it so happened that early morning I had to catch all of us had to take a car and had to leave to Tirupati. So my husband and my daughter took one vehicle and went off, and I was supposed to come at the back. My handbag was with them. Accidentally, I forgot to take the key of my vehicle and I locked it, which was again automatic and could not get. I could not take it. So I started jogging early morning, till Venkat Narayana Road. And that was Innama, people were asking, what is that? Some of the people were on the road. I said, nothing, with the nice sari, when a lady runs on the road early morning, it definitely creates panic. So I said no. That day I realized being fit obviously helps you. So by the time they reached, I also reached behind them. That is where you realize in the emergency, there is a flood, there is a drought, there is fire, whatever it is, a woman have to be active. So all your sporting life today can definitely lead you to a better life in coming days. So don't think that taking part in sports are going to be vain, right? And then comes as the muscular strength. You should be able to carry your baby, you should be able to work out, you should be able to carry your suitcase or briefcase or whatever it is, and you should be able to bend forward. Not that 2,000 rupees fell down and you're not able to bend and pick it up after a certain age. No. Oh, Indian closet, no, I can't. I want only Western closet. The scenario has changed. The woman doesn't want to take up that. No, flexibility is something which has to be there in your body till we die. The more flexible you are, the more young you will look throughout your life. And the last is your body composition. How much is the fat in your body? So generally when you see, take this two little finger, you can take your bicep, hold it, how much of fats is there. Like if you see it is skinny, this will be called as skinny. I don't want you to be like this, but fine, I've grown older, so not a matter. But bicep is one spot, tricep is another spot, 2, right? Next is the subscapularis, this region, and then iliac crest, this region. Here you could see even the male, bike la pombodella nalla chuck, big, they have. No, nobody should have that. That is a spot where the fats are being deposited. Then your lower abdomen and inner thigh. You can go take these 2 fingers, pinch and pick up the skin and see how thick it is. If it is very fat stomach, fats in your body. If it is very thin, that's good. So maintain that, The moment you find your attire is going tight, don't lose it. Try to fit into it. That attitude you need to develop. There are many women who keep changing their dress, keep changing. Size, this size, that size, there 44, triple XL, what it is. Now, if you have worn this dress for your wedding, ensure that you are able to wear it even today. Yeah, when I became pregnant, one of my friends from Gwalior came and she asked me, Apalla rombo sharing irko. She came and picked up all my nice jeans and all. After I became normal, I became the same, whatever I was earlier. And I was thinking that, after pregnancy I can't wear. No. You can wear. You should have that attitude. Same dress that I had been wearing before pregnancy can be worn after 6 months or 8 months. You will become normal. So don't have that attitude that this is an end to it. You have big life ahead. So all these things that I'm talking about, the 5, okay, has to be there in your body throughout your life till we die. Right. So how to choose a better life? So my doctor says I can lose weight if I just eliminate 2 things from my diet, food and drink. So adhigama saapradhu, adhigama thoonguradhu, that is why money irukada, go have. No, don't have that attitude of doing it. So if you can control your food and drink, you can be absolutely fine. So whenever you look into the components of fitness, you need to look upon muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiorespiratory endurance, flexibility and body composition. How will you judge? So intensity, what is the speed you work with, right? Same day you work out, what is your intensity with what speed, and what duration you work out, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and how frequently in a week, thrice a week, every day in a week, yeah? And nature of aerobics with the jogging, playing football, and how do you progress? So you need to involve, now the sports attitude is there, zenith is there. After that also you should continue your sporting thing throughout your life. So you can choose 30 to 45 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. You can get into aerobic zone where your 80% can be, heart rate can be reached. That is 180 minus age is the standard formula. Right. While you're exercising, you need to have a muscular balance. You need to have, like, if I'm performing this exercise, I'm performing for my chest. Same way I need to perform for my lower back. If I'm working for my lower back, I have to work for my lower abdomen. So if I'm not working, my abdominal muscles are weak, then I'll be like this. If I'm having back pain, I'll become like this. So you need to have your core muscles strong to have your body straight, sit straight. So all of you sit straight. Yeah. So you have the attitude of sit straight, sleep straight, walk straight. Okay, tall. I call it as tall. Sit tall, walk tall, sleep tall. This tall attitude should be there. Even while you sit in the closet, sit straight, sit tall. That's it. So alignment and the body posture is very, very essential. This is, not that you perform Bharatanatyam, now don't even extend your arms. I feel very bad. Not that. You need to extend your arms whenever you exercise. That is how it's called as full range of motion has to be performed. So any movement when you perform, it has to reach the complete range. So do that. Before that, get the medical clearance. I think your college, sir, you have undergone medical clearance for everybody. With that report, you can go ahead, always warm up, perform your cardiorespiratory zone, and then get on to the cool down session, right? That can help you to recover much faster, and you need to monitor your, so you can also buy some weights at home. You can have a mini gym or small rack for your weights or skipping rope and then TerraBand and Swiss ball, yoga mat, something of that, you can have it. You have the passion. Don't spend money on hotel eating in the hotel or spending time with your friends in eats. You can buy that with the money that your parents are giving. Whenever there is discount which is online, you can buy some of the equipments for yourself and then keep it at home and keep performing it throughout your life. This is how you can incorporate exercise in your life. Also, you can keep stretching. Now, if you're making chaya, you can perform a little of stretches. So the milk is boiling or tea is boiling. Another side, you can just bend, you can lunge a little, you know. Even if you're brushing, you can get onto the single leg squat. You can work on this. You can brush your teeth in this manner. So there are many ways that you can utilize every single moment, your attitude. Yeah, that will definitely make you better. And you can go for jogging, have some music with you. And you can, if you still don't have time, split the time into 10 minutes 3 times or 15 minutes twice a day. You can get down one bus stand before and then you can walk and go back. You always try to walk to the nearby store. This walking attitude has totally gone. Even the men, they earlier used to kick the bike, they stopped kicking. Now auto Ignatius, they just switch on, buy milk, come, drop it, again relax. So there is no attitude of walking. It's just totally disintegrating slowly. So have music, but not on your cell phone. You can have MP3 or some kind of music system which can be heard. Right. So when you look into your body, what's the time, sir? How much of more time? At what time I'm supposed to stop? Another 10 minutes? Vandama? Another 10 minutes, okay? So when you see your body, you know, it is like a highway. When your car is driving on the road, if it is smooth, the road is smooth, you feel very pleasant. Poite irkalam, Tiruchi to Chennai, keep coming, no problem. But whenever there is a highways, there is a block or traffic block is there. So what happens is you get pampered, yeah, and just a minute. So what happens is this vehicles, they stop you and you become restless, all your energies, you know, go off, you become unhappy, and this is what is the situation which takes place, right? So what you need to do is, how can we keep our body happy? So this is what I would like to tell you through this mode. So when you see yoga, yoga can be performed. It is like clearing the unhappy situation. Body is just like a road. If everything goes well, you are happy. When there is a block or some kind of cold, fever or backache or osteoporosis or some kind of problem, it gets unhappy. So yoga is the only way that you can get onto it, perform. It can also secrete your happy hormones, that is oxytocin, serotonin and dopamine. These are the 3 happy hormones which can be produced through yoga. So there are many researches which speaks about yoga where all the diseases almost can be, restricted. So I would rather say that don't try to do after getting into problem, yeah. Try to do prevention is better than cure. So keep performing exercises, keep taking part. You will not get any health related problem, and yoga can keep the balance between body and the mind. And if you are sitting like this, try to perform some kind of breathing exercises using your diaphragm. You can perform some kind of chair yoga. You can always sit straight on the Swiss ball and perform the make use of your laptops. As you are seated, you can perform some kind of chair aerobics. You can perform, time aicha? Can I finish it off? Yeah. So you need to be active and have a healthy diet. Healthy diet, that is what is very good. Class is the last one. Indian food basically is too high. Try to eat less. Don't take these kind of things like Complan, Horlicks, all that. Have balanced diet, carbohydrate, protein, fats, milk products, vitamins and minerals. And you can always substitute with some kind of chapatis and have a good servings of fruits in your body. Say no to all these things which is all very fancy, not basically good. You can also take some kind of supplementary of iron, folic acid, B complex, can be taken with the consultation of the doctors or of your own. So if you think that you can work every day, right from the morning till night without undergoing fatigue, you are fit. So exercise has shown lots of benefits. Strength training is very, very good. Try to perform your own body weight. Walking is one of the best weight bearing exercise. Cheap and best exercise that you can do. You can do jogging, you can take part in sports and maintain it throughout your life. Yeah. So this is the fitness pyramid that you need to do every day is 30 minutes of everyday walk. Sparingly, you can use escalator, you can use lift and all that, and watching TV, right? So basically a female athlete image is were earlier shown like this. Today these are all getting reduced. So if you see in Wimbledon, Serena Williams was playing Wimbledon with the 7th month of pregnancy. That was really amazing. So women is not that only for certain work, they can get into all kinds of their life. And there are many women who have been a role model, like Sunita Rao, Thania Sache, Sheikh Chandran, Sharmila Nicolette, and then Deepika Palika. So there are also women who are disabled, who are also taking part in the competitions. We never have to discourage. I think inclusive education has come. You can also start working on inclusive education, and inclusive sports can be given to them, so that you can have it as an addition in your thing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any question? I want the girls to come out with the questions. That is where I feel happy. Come out, please. See, there is nothing which is hidden. Everybody knows everything. If you don't have any solution, you can come out. Please. Just ask one. Anything. Could be related to your mother, your parents, your neighborhood. Anything? General life, women equality, anything you want to do, challenging. கேளுங்க ஏதாவது. Don't be conscious. All the time hitting again, pulling the t-shirt. No. Gone are those days. Today compression garment is there. Wear that. Those days they used to pull. No. Throw that. You have comfortable dress. You wear that. Don't touch your attire. Avladhan. No need to peep like this. No need to peep like that. Correcta போட்டோமா வெளியே வந்துடணும். அதுக்கப்புறமா தொடக்கூடாது. சொல்லுங்க கேள்வி. ஒன்றும் இல்லை. உட்கார். Yeah, smart girl in the front. Come on. நீங்க பின்னாடி எல்லாம் பார்க்க கூடாது. நீங்க தான் ஒருத்த லேடி இங்க உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க. சொல்லுங்க. Question. Yes, sports secretary. எங்க அந்த மேடம்? Okay, நீங்க தான் அழகா இது பண்ணீங்க. Prayer. You led us in a good prayer. Yeah. Question. See, there's no time for it. காலை எழுந்தவுடன் படிப்பு, மாலை முழுதும் விளையாட்டு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க பாரதியார் இல்லையா? But if you go to America, even at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they are jogging, they are exercising, they are doing their work. That's what. The trend is totally changed. You don't have to feel shy. You are on your legs. Nobody will feed you while you are in adverse condition. Yeah? So you have to go daringly, let anybody talk, break the barriers. Yeah. கேளுங்க. Any girl? I'll appreciate if somebody comes out with one question at least. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of enlightenment and motivation. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Now, I invite Ms. Kavya Kalidas, Sports Secretary of Non-Resident Women Students Forum, to propose the word of thanks.
Respected dignitaries, teachers, cabinets, and my dear friends, a very good noon to you all. On this auspicious day, I, Kavya Kalidas, from the Department of Political Science, second year, the Sports Secretary of Non-Resident Women Students Forum, use this prestigious opportunity to thank you all for the grand event. First of all, I would like to thank the God Almighty for showering His blessings throughout this program. Next, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. K. Jyoti Dayanathan, Associate Professor, YMCA College of Physical Education, for sparing her valuable time for us and for motivating our students to be ideal sports person and a good human being in their lives. On behalf of everyone, I thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us through your wonderful activities. Next, I would like to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. P. Wilson, for standing as a pillar of support in organizing this event. I thank you, sir, for being a part of this seminar and encouraging us throughout this seminar. I would like to thank Mr. Cyrus Kallupurakal, Bursar of Madras Christian College, for your support. Thank you, sir. I particularly would like to thank our Dean of Women Students, Mrs. R. Sheba, and sports committee members for being there for us and guiding us. I would like to thank our Director of Physical Education, Dr. J. M. Vishwanath, for accepting our invitation and guiding us this important time. A very special mention to Dr. James and Dr. Premina from Sports Committee for organizing this seminar. And also, thanks to Dr. Raki Yadav for being a part of this seminar. I would like to thank the teachers for emboldening us and giving us the confidence in arranging the whole event. Now, it's time to thank our students for your valuable presence and cooperation. And I hope every non-resident women students bring out your extraordinary sports skill, true sports womanship in the upcoming Zenith Sports Meet. Finally, I would like to express my sense of gratitude for our service providers. Once again, I would like to thank you all with feelings of gratitude and joy for your constant support in making this program a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavya, for your words of gratitude. Now, I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all for your wonderful presence. I request the students to wait and your names will